Okay, welcome back everyone. In this section we're going to be taking a look at selecting objects. Now there are many ways to select objects in 3D Studio Max. We're not going to take a look at all of them because that could take forever. However, we are going to be taking a look at enough of them to give you a firm grasp on all the different ways that you can select objects. You can then use that to explore some of the other methods. And actually throughout the DVD we'll expose a few new techniques and a few other methods along the way. So let's get started. Now in our active viewport, you'll notice that as I move the cursor over an object, the cursor changes. They're kind of like a crosshair. Now if I left click with the mouse when we have a crosshair here, you'll see that it puts this white box around our object. Now if I click on, say, one of the green spheres here, you'll notice that it creates a white box around it. This is actually called the bounding box of the object. It represents the largest extents of this object. Now if we also take a look in our orthographic views or our wireframe views, you'll notice that the object turns white. This is another useful way of identifying your object in the various viewports. As you can see here in our front viewport, we have a lot of overlapping objects. If I don't have anything selected, it may be a little bit hard to discern or to tell which sphere is which. However, in one of my other views, say perspective, I can select one of the spheres and now it becomes very clear which one I have selected. Okay, so if you have one object selected and you want to add more to the selection, hold down Control on the keyboard and then just left click on the objects you want to add. Now the nice thing about holding down Control is it can act as a toggle. So as I click on this one object, you can see it adds it to the selection and removes it from the selection. Now to deselect objects, you can press Control D on the keyboard, or you can just left click in empty space. So again, with multiple objects selected, just click in empty space. In addition to single clicking on objects, we have the ability to select multiple objects in one operation. Because sometimes, if you have a whole bunch of objects that you want to select, sometimes clicking on each one individually can be a real pain. So say for example, over here in our top viewport, I'm going to switch over to our top viewport by clicking on its name. If we click and hold the left mouse button down in empty space and drag over the objects that we're interested in, you can see it selects those objects. Now one thing to pay attention to here is at the top of the screen we have our window crossing button. It looks like a circle within a box, or perhaps on your side it looks like